Hey, everybody. So today's message is just going to be a little bit of a quick riff, a quick kind of ramble, a quick pondering, if you will, on one of the more obvious, intuitive, basic uses of psychedelics that I think most anybody can do to apply them in their own lives and use them for self healing, self betterment, life improvement, quality of life improvement that rarely gets talked about. I don't know why people don't look at psychedelics in this way or talk about it in this way, or why it's not brought up. Maybe it's too close to recreational use to be considered therapeutic or valuable, perhaps. But I think this might be kind of the more run of the mill garden variety way that we can think about using psychedelics to improve our own lives. And that is quite simply to use them as a form of psycho-spiritual laxative, if you will. Now, I know that sounds a little crude, and it is a bit of a crude metaphor, but I can't think of anything more appropriate. And I can't tell you how many times I've come away from a really good psychedelic experience, particularly after, let's say it had been months and months and months, or a year and a half, like a big break. It had been a big while between psychedelic experiences. And I'd kind of gone through, just living, doing the thing, accumulating stress and, tension and challenges and life experiences and new learnings and new epiphanies and, breakups and shakeups and whatever else. Just going through life, right? And then you kind of get to a point where you're just feeling full. You're feeling maybe stagnant. You're feeling kind of overloaded or full up of the same old in life, and you need something to shift. You need something to change. And a lot of times I've used psychedelics in those moments to just kind of like, okay, I just need a pattern interrupt. I need a break here. I need a mental vacation. I need time off from the rote, same old shit. And then I would take a psychedelic and it would just absolutely clear out the fucking cobwebs of all the problems, of all the stresses, of all the worries, of all the fears, of all the doubts, of all the ruminations, of all the whatever it was. And I think this is so incredibly powerful and so incredibly, just useful. I think your default person who goes through life not being a psychonaut, not doing drugs, not taking psychedelics, not exploring their own mind, your average person who just kind of goes through life, growing up, going to school, getting a job or getting a degree, and then going into a career and, building a family and just doing the thing, doing the status quo life thing. I think your average person like this doesn't really realize how many small traumas, how many small kind of wounds to the psyche or sense of self, how many stresses and weights and upsetting concepts and ideas and impressions and experiences we all go through that we don't process, that we just kind of think falls by the wayside, but actually we're carrying all this baggage that we've accumulated over years and decades of our lives that we haven't thought through and really sifted through and pulled the wisdom out of and properly contextualized and put in the right place in our lives, that we haven't really deeply released and let go of, or, fully integrated and grown stronger from. I would say the vast bulk of our experiences is stuff, both good and bad, that we kind of haven't fully completed. And I think that using psychedelics, a lot of times, in this context of intermittently, once a year, maybe twice a year, that kind of a thing, as a way to kind of clear out this baggage, as a way to sift through it, as a way to let go of a bunch of it, as a way to process some of it, as a way to also just kind of realize that you're more than your baggage, that you're more than your narrative, that you're more than your story or your ambitions or your desires or your tensions and struggles or your fears or your insecurity or your roles or any of that shit. That you can kind of just put all of that down for 6 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, whatever, and just really just truly be present and be whole and be complete and really evaluate all that stuff and look at it, or have it kind of automatically through your unconscious mind processing it, release. I think this is so important and so easy relatively speaking, in terms of psychedelics, which debatably they're not easy. There are a lot of people that struggle with taking them. I get it. And there's a lot of reasons why psychedelics aren't for everyone and aren't always easy. But in terms of a full dose psychedelic experience, so not microdosing, and using psychedelics to self-heal, to improve the quality of our lives, to level up in some way, or to feel better and to, stave off the anxiety, stave off the depression, that kind of a thing. I think this is one of the most easy, simple, healthy, positive things we can do, just like taking a vacation once a year, or just like exercising regularly, or just like, fasting every now and then, or all the other things that we know we should do to interrupt the regular humdrum, pattern of our existence and kind of hit the reset button. I think this is a really good one for the mind, for the emotions, and for the spirit. And so I just want to put that out there for you guys as food for thought. What do you think of this? For me, this is something that's incredibly intuitive. This is something I've seen a lot of my friends do, something like I said, I've done a bunch. But is this something you've done? Is this something you've experienced with psychedelics yourself? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think that this is a dangerous way to use psychedelics? I'd love to know what you think. Just comment down below, interact a little bit. Let me know what you think. And if you enjoyed the video, please consider liking or subscribing, or not, watch more videos. And either way, thanks for your time. Thanks for your attention. And I hope you have a beautiful day wherever you are. Take care.